Yash, today you're going to talk a little bit about your business, which you run, which is in the marble industry. You're going to talk a little bit about how you got there, what the future is looking like in this industry, is that correct? And also about your plans. So maybe we can talk a little bit about you kind of introducing yourself.
All right. So Arjun, thank you very much for having me on this little interview show of yours. I've been really looking forward to it, and working in this family business, I've really been looking forward, to get interviewed, or not exactly interviewed, but at least I was really looking forward to someone, would ask me questions, so that I could tell my side of the story. So, well, to begin, I was always from a commerce background, and even and from the very initial days, even when I was in school, I would look at my dad working in the office, at home all the time, having a lot of calls going on. So that was something, which really fascinated me, like, when I was very young, seeing someone being busy all the time, being on calls all the time, having a lot of paperwork going on. So as soon as school ended, that's when COVID hit us all. So the first 2 years of my academic college years went online because none of the campuses actually opened, and that's exactly when I started going to my dad's office. And it was a great experience because running the show is not as easy as it actually seems, because when you're actually operating an entire showroom as the owner, you have to look into the purchase department, into the sales, into the marketing, accounts, all by yourself, and it's a hell lot of pressure. Public dealing is really not easy in India, especially if it's North India, because there's a hell lot of lack of professionalism. So it was a very good experience for me, and this year I'm going to be 23, which technically means that I'm going to be completing almost 5 years into the business, and I really feel that it's really helped me mature out. I mean, if I was definitely not going to my dad's business 5 years back, I don't think I would be in the position of maturity I do hold right now.
So can you talk a little bit about your family business? What are the roots? What inspired the business to be kind of like started? What industry is it in?
So actually, we are specifically dealing in imported marble and exotic stones. We are not dealing much in Indian stones. We're actually into high-end luxury products of the natural stone industry, and this all started with my grandfather actually. So there is this place in Rajasthan which is called Makrana, which I'm sure a lot of the viewers would also be knowing. It's a very famous small little town from where white marble used to come out, which is also the marble that has been used in the ancient Taj Mahal. So my grandfather actually used to do trading of these Makrana blocks, and later on my father left Rajasthan, came to the city, started traveling abroad, and that's when we started importing marble from almost 35 plus countries. And it's quite an interesting job also. However, it's very time consuming, and it does demand a lot of human perfection, which is very difficult to find, because you're dealing with natural products, and no matter how expensive the product is, defects always come with natural products. There is always a lot of variation that comes with natural products. No two things can be the same. So this particular kind of a business, really demands a lot of time, a lot of personal space, I'd say a lot of sacrifices, and a hell lot of hard work.
When you're talking about defects, what kind of defects are you talking about?
So when you're dealing in natural products, and as I said, no two things can be the same, just the way how no two children can be the same even from the same mother. So even as humans, we all have our own plus and our minuses. Natural stones do have their own plus and minuses as well. For example, a lot of stones might have color variations, a lot of stones might have a few cracks, a few hairlines, a few fissures. However, they all can be treated very well. However, it's our duty as an honest seller to always guide the consumer and to help them out. However, all these things come in natural products. There's nothing really to worry about. However, we're very cautious. That's why we prefer to tell everyone in advance about the benefits and the let's say the disadvantages of the natural product.
Can you talk a little bit about the types of clients you serve? Do you kind of supply for big real estate companies or private firms or private homes?
So initially, I'll tell you how we started the business. Actually, we started as a B2B company where my dad, used to take a lot of marble traders with him to countries like Italy, Turkey, Portugal, Iran, China, Albania, and from there he used to help them sort blocks, and he used to take his consultancy charges. Later on, a lot of developers, a lot of builders, got to know about us, that there's this company which is helping other traders import marble at very limited margins and at very limited profits. So that is exactly when they started approaching us. And initially we weren't very interested, because we were in our comfort zone of, working with marble traders. Rotations were very quick. There was a lot less to explain. We didn't have to hold a lot of patience. But once we started understanding that catering to end users and to builders is the only opportunity for you to actually, really create the right kind of goodwill you want for the future generations of the business to come. So that's when we started working with developers. Initially, we started working with the DLF group, which is very popular in the northern part of the country. We did a couple of projects like the DLF Magnolias and Aralias, where we sourced a lot of stones from Italy and Turkey. Later on, we started working with a lot of low-rise builder floors, and as Gurgaon started having very expensive properties, the overall impact of a natural stone and the overall cost of it in the project really stopped mattering. So people started really going for high quality products, and that's when we started working with a lot of G+4 builders, low-rise builders. We were doing a couple of high-rise projects also, and after we started improving our sourcing, we got in touch with the M3M group also. Currently, we're doing almost 95% of their projects. One of the most popular project of the country is Trump Towers 1, where we have done approximately 5 lakh square feet Satvario, which is a white marble from Italy, and we've done almost 2,50,000 square feet of Grey Williams, which is also a product of Italy. This is one of our biggest projects that we've done so far, and we look forward to connecting with more developers. Along with this, we've also come in contact with a lot of architects, interior designers, interior stylists. Through them, we work with a lot of end users, where we do a lot of urban and exclusive penthouses, big villas, mansions, and a lot of huge farmhouses also. And once your product really speaks, you really don't need to market yourself too much yourself. It's your customers who are actually your best marketers. So that's when we got in touch with a lot of HNIs, and because a lot of them are usually traveling, so they have multiple homes. So we started doing a lot of projects for them in US and in Dubai also. Right now we're working with a couple of pan masala groups also in Dubai, where we're supplying Italian and Turkish stones, as well as a couple of Chinese stones directly. We're shipping them to their villas, and mind you, those villas are extremely expensive villas. I mean, the kind of projects that right now we're doing, we're very specific and we're very finicky about our exports, because we like to maintain our quality. The kind of export that we're doing in the Dubai villas, all those villas are almost worth, let's say, around 150 crores. So that's the kind of quality we're really dwelling into.
And where do you see the future of the company going in the next 10 years?
Well, the future of the company actually comes from the future of the industry. And well, I definitely say that the future of the marble industry is extremely bright. In today's time, there is absolutely no prestigious project, no project in this entire world which can be completed without marble. Marble is no longer a want, marble is a need in today's time. There is absolutely no survival for a prestigious project, for an exclusive project, without marble. And I would also like now, if you'd like to talk about our company, yes, of course, we are expanding very, very extensively, very, very aggressively. But we do like to maintain our slow pace also at sometimes, because, as I mentioned, it's a natural product. Good products are rare to source, very difficult to find, and the processing part is extremely crucial. So yes, we are expanding, but not specifically in volume, but we're going deeper and deeper into the quality. And we have 3 warehouses right now in Gurgaon. Along with this, we're making our new head office, and we're coming with another single shed, which is also going to be in Gurgaon. Along with this, we're also planning to open an office in Dubai, and later on, we're also hoping to launch our brand new warehouse in Sharjah.
So you're obviously expanding into the Gulf, and do you see that there's actually a lot of interest in the Middle East these days? Is it because of the quality of housing improving, or because of a need for more high-end homes and products?
Well, definitely, because times are changing, and we're running into a more modern world where designs have a very crucial role. Home designs, residential designs, commercial designs, they have a very crucial role to play in the entire lifestyle, maybe, of a human being. So yes, Middle East is really developing really well, and architects, interior designers, they're looking out for new products. They're looking out for products which can never be repeated again, and that is exactly why a natural stone is very much coming in trend now. Because a marble that has been supplied to one customer can never be given to the other one, because no two products are the same. So yes, Middle East is really, really developing. I definitely agree to it.
You kind of talked about when you started almost 5 years ago, and now you've been almost 5 years in the company. How has that progression been?
So, I certainly have learned a lot of things. Definitely about the business. You keep learning, and especially if you're in a marble trade, there's learning every day, because things are changing, things are evolving, older things are shutting down, new products are coming up. So, there's a lot of learning. If you ask me about how my life has changed after I've joined my family business, I think a lot has changed, because business, any sort of business, even not for my industry, but specifically speaking for myself, it does demand a lot of discipline, a lot of presence of mind, and one of the most important things that this business has taught me is that if you want to get your work done, you have to be very, very punctual. Whether I go to meet a supplier from whom I have to buy marble maybe thousands of kilometers away, or even if I have to go for a client meeting, I always plan to run all my meetings, and I schedule them all in advance. I always try to create an impression by being there on time. And one of the most important things I've also learned is that you have to be very specific to your discussion. There has to be no loose talk that you have to do. There is no personal discussion that has to be done. You have to be very, very specific to your work, and you have to be very, very honest to your business.
You talked a little bit about the goals of the business 10 years down the line. What are your personal goals 10 years down the line?
Well, the first goal definitely is to be a better human, is to have a more holistic approach to life, to balance things out. Even though I know, as humans, we just keep mentioning that, that it's very important to, balance your professional life and your personal life. However, when you are on the expansion mode, when you're growing your business, you're very much into it, it really doesn't happen. However, one should always try. But personally, what matters the most is your happiness index. Whether you're working or not, whether you're doing something or not, your happiness index should maintain stable, and that is one thing that I've really been working on in my business. Whether you earn or not doesn't matter, whether you have clients or not doesn't matter, nothing matters. What matters the most is your happiness index. If you're happy and if you're proud of your work, if you enjoy your work, everything will fall in part.
And kind of going back to you, staying on the topic, what is a standard day like for you on the job? What does it kind of look like?
So the routine is generally like I try to reach office somewhere around 10. I mean, no matter how early you try to leave, you know how the Gurgaon traffic is now. So whenever I reach, the first thing I usually do is I take an entire round of all the warehouses. I see how the lighting is. I check for how the products are maintained. I check for the cleanliness. I check whether things are in place or not. And whenever I do this entire, check up, the entire visit, I never think of myself as the owner of the company. I actually do this entire check as a consumer. If I was a consumer who was at the store to buy marble, how would I feel? How would my first impression be? So an entire round, an entire inspection is one of the first things that I do. After that, I greet all my staff. I meet all of them. Then I do all of my planning, and then I tell all my I give a list of all my duties and all my jobs that have to be done by myself to my EA. And then I hold a meeting with all my employees. We discuss targets. We discuss things that are running. A lot of new clients that are coming up. We schedule visits for them. We align meetings for them. We try to understand what they're looking for. A lot of deals that are happening, we try to mature them out, help the client wherever we can. So that is how it is, because after the day starts, you just have clients coming and going. You have a lot of suppliers coming and going. A lot of invoicing has been done. So you always have to be on your toes. And by the evening, when all the work is done, I generally try to sit with my accounts team. We try to reconcile the entire day, the transactions, that have been done throughout the day. We try to work on them, and that's how I like to wrap up my day.
Going more broadly to the marble industry, what's the biggest challenge of being in the marble industry, and also after that, what's the greatest opportunity of being in the marble industry?
Well, the biggest challenge, like I said, is volumes are rising. The demand is really growing very, very steadily. However, quality material is becoming more and more rare day by day. So it's definitely not a challenge or a problem that I'm facing, but I think somewhere that demands most of your hard work and most of your presence is actually the procurement. So I wouldn't like to call it a challenge, because I really don't see anything as a challenge in my business. I like to take things very positively, in a very sporting way. So yeah, procurement is a very big key factor that you really have to work on. And opportunities, definitely I see. What I'm realizing is that because people are understanding quality products day by day, and people can go any distance to get their dream marble. I see the entire country as an opportunity. A couple of years back, people would prefer to buy marble from their specific city vendor. But now, because people want better and better quality, people are traveling every single part of the country to get the product they want. For example, sitting in New Delhi, we have clients flying all the way from Nagpur in Maharashtra, all the way from Patna, and a lot of places in south, even though there are hundreds of stores in their city also. So I do see the entire country and then the entire world as an opportunity. I personally feel that there is absolutely no limit that you can do to this business. It's just how good your management is and how much you can run.
So last topic I wanted to touch up on is your business in particular. Maybe talk about your business. You can talk about what you do. For those that are interested, maybe they can search your business up online, see the social media handles. Maybe you have the floor there.
Well, yes, definitely. We love to connect with clients, and one of our biggest advantages that as consumers, everyone can take advantage on, is the fact that we are really into personal touch. We really believe in understanding each client's need, and it's not like how other stores are, where you just come, look at marble, whatever you like, you do a budgeting price and you buy it. We like to understand your needs, and along with this, we actually like to guide our clients about the technicality of the entire product. What are the benefits? Where should the application be done? The way the application should be done, which stone should be used in which particular point of the house. So definitely I would really like to connect with everyone. And one of the biggest advantages also that one could avail from is that we are direct importers. We are not buying from any other consumer, like I mentioned, because we were into B2B. So we have relations with with almost 500 quarry owners across 35 countries. So it is extremely easy for us to source any type of natural product, any type of marble, onyx, travertine, quartzite, limestone, or various other natural stones that are used in projects. We can source them for you. We can help you out. We can travel to every corner of the world to get you your dream marble.
That's beautiful. And normally at the very end of this chat, I ask everyone one question, which is, for anyone that's watching this, do you have a general piece of advice you could offer them?
I mean, there's a lot I could advise on, but there's one thing I used to feel earlier, and now I've really realized is that just focus on yourself. Whether you're running your own business, whether it's a family business, whether you're in the corporate sector, just focus on yourself. Don't look at anyone else. Just don't care about what your competitors or what your competition is doing. Just focus on yourself. See how you can improve yourself, your business, how you can help your customers get better products. So just work on yourself, and I'm sure a couple of years back even you won't understand how far you've reached.
Thanks for sharing that great advice, and thank you also for being part of this chat and talking about the business and the marble industry. It's very insightful.
Thank you so much, Arjun. It was my absolute pleasure to be here. I look forward to another interview with you very soon.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Thank you.